Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gaming Droid and welcome to Tales Runner, which is a fairy story anime style based sort of cel shaded cartoon style race game, free to play from Rayon Entertainment, hosted by OG Planet. You can get it through Steam. You have to sign up with an OG Planet account to play. First off, I'll just say flat out there aren't enough new people playing, so the amateur and semi-pro races are almost always empty, which makes some of the quests hard to complete. But over in the pro, there are a few races going on. So let's just sort of jump into a race and I'll explain the mechanics as we go. As you can see, Animu characters left, right and centre, people wearing different costumes. The one thing I would say is the costumes do boost your stats. So, because the costumes boost your stats, you are going to sort of end up in a situation where you are going to be losing against the high level players. Because the high level players are going to have better equipment and they're going to have higher stats as a result, which means you are going to be racing against people who are just kind of like out and out going to beat you. It would be better if there were a lot more new players in the game. It would help if with an injection of new players. Is anyone else going to join? Are we actually going to start? Come on guys, I'm recording. What I'll do guys is I will basically skip forwards to when we actually have a match running. Okay everyone, so we have gotten into a match against two other players. It seems to be that like the joining and leaving of matches is, as with most of these games, because there's not many people playing simultaneously, a little bit difficult. And it looks like I am matched up with some people who aren't kind of massively experienced at the game because they didn't boost drop. So, as you can see, this is the ski mechanic. There's three different forms of racing. There's running, swimming and skiing. You can get jumps, you can get boosts. This is one of the ones where there's an interesting thing where like the maps are actually a lot more open than they seem to be. There are kind of arbitrary edges to the maps, and kind of like finding all the edges is quite difficult. And it can kind of delay you in races, so it's not worth doing while you're actually racing. But later on in this map there's actually a boost point on the ceiling, so or a boost point up above the ceiling. So this map is actually a lot more open than it seems because there are boost points kind of scattered about in places where you wouldn't normally expect you can reach. The actual mechanics, you have a dash mechanic with a dash meter to gain additional distance. There's a dash boost right up on the right hand side there, right up on top of the mountain that was blocking me. So obviously there's a mechanic where I could have gotten up on top of there. I'm not even wearing my best equipment, and this is the thing, is like equipment gives you bonuses to your stats, it boosts your stats, and because equipment boosts your stats, purchasing high level equipment makes it easier for you to win races. So you're kind of incentivized to purchase high level equipment. That being said, I got some nice equipment for a temporary piece of equipment. So there's permanent equipment that you can get hold of, and even like some of the equipment you purchase is only given to you temporarily for a certain number of days or a certain number of hours or weeks. So you can kind of like have time limited equipment. I was given some time limited equipment, which is much better than the equipment I'm wearing at the moment, during the tutorial missions. Now I've come to a bit of a dead end on the tutorial missions because people aren't playing the amateur races. Now one of the problems they've done with that is that you gain less experience for racing in an amateur race. And because you gain less experience for racing in an amateur race, anyone who's been playing the game for a while is racing in and there's a card. So this is another one of the mechanics. So let's go back and I will show you the dress mechanics. So this is the dress mechanics. I gain different boosts. I can equip different things. So I can equip my oxen backpack. I can also gain gifts. So that's 1,000 experience bonus from that gift. I can have the ruby star effect. So when I go into a race, I get ruby sparkles around me. I also have a rental coupon that I got, which means that I can get any of the rental costumes if I so desire. I need to go back because the rental system kind of locks you into it for a second for some odd reason. I get pets, so I've got a splodge pet and a dragon pet. And the thing about the pets is they also give you a bonus. So this gives me a bonus against mech bosses and reduces a boss's ability to use its ultimate attack one time. The let's see. The backpack gives me bonus TR and bonus experience, TR being the in-game currency. The necklace gives me +1 max speed and 15 TR regardless of how the race goes. The pirate hat gives me crush resistance and jump duration. The raccoon boots give me damage versus humanoid bosses. So I'm just going to jump into my angel set because, as you can see, the angel set gives me bonuses to everything and it makes me significantly better as a racer. Can I equip Wilbur as well? No, Wilbur uses up part of my... Oh no, he doesn't. Cool. So I can wear Wilbur and my angel set, and Wilbur gives me some bonus TR and bonus experience. I can have a super starboard. There's all sorts of different sort of things you can get and do. And a lot of these things, once you get them from, sort of finish getting them from quests, you'll be getting them from here. So you'll be getting them from the shop. You can buy different characters to play as. You have a selection of characters to start from. So you can see I can play as Billy or as Troy. Troy is my better character. Sorry for the cut there, guys. I sneezed and I wanted to cut that out of the episode. You can also buy different things which give you different benefits. So you can see here that this costs 800 TR to buy for a day, 2,400 to buy for 7 days, and 4,800 to buy for 30 days, and that's the Troy riding hat. You can also buy things with Astro, which is the paid for currency, and it's 100 Astro for $5. So as well as the multiplayer races, there are co-op races, which are often fighting bosses, and different kinds of expedition and raid. You can have guilds. There's the hot races, the special events, and also the single player maps. And this is called Tails Racing or Tails Runner. And I've completely forgotten the name of the game now. Tails Run. And basically, it's based on fairy tales. So there's some Japanese fairy tales, Henobu Nobu and the Sun and the Moon. Then there's also some Momotaru. There's also some Western fairy tales like Jack and the Beanstalk, Aladdin, Frog Prince, Ice Princess, Alibaba. So you can go to some different fairy tales and play single player races. There's also Dr. Hell, which is the sort of high level single player, and the different training maps you can go on. What I'll do is I will jump into a fairy tale race, and then we'll go into the Tales book. So let's grab Momotaru. And there's some beautiful sort of Japanese music and things. The music in this is really quite nice. The scenery's quite nice. I mean, the whole thing is designed quite nicely. The slightly sort of Japanese RPG spastic character design for clothing and things, it makes sense for the characters, or for the sort of world it's in. It's supposed to be you are summoned to the world of fairy tales because fairy tales are dying off. Or not dying off, but fairy tales are being forgotten. So you've been summoned to the world of fairy tales to take part in races to raise fairy tale awareness, maybe? As you can see, if you run on the grass, it slows you down significantly. Jump mechanic. There's also an item mechanic. And a swimming mechanic. It would have been faster to ride one of those platforms across, but instead of riding the platforms, I went through to the swimming mechanic, and as you can see, like, it's a simple kind of dodge the obstacles. Ooh, goblin. Now, goblins are something you can jump on, and you can actually kill goblins if you jump on their head. So there's actually an enemy mechanic as well. So you can actually kind of bop goblins on the head. As I'm just doing this for the video, let's see if I can... Nope. Can I bop you? Are you actually on the map? Nope, he's defended by something. Defended by the invisible wall of defense. But there's actually a mechanic where you can bop enemies on the head if they're actually on the track, and you can actually deal damage to them, including bosses. I was out of stamina, didn't notice. So you can see that having higher stats, higher stamina, higher acceleration, things like that. Oh, just got back up on there. The maps are sometimes a little bit harder to sort of see where you're going, and there is an element of steering involved in the maps. It doesn't just auto-run round corners. It does have a little bit of auto-run, a little bit of auto-turn, but when the map turns sharply, you're a little bit stuck. So I've got some giant enemies here that are stamping on the map. So I've got to weave my way through their feet. Not too difficult. Avoid the spiked clubs, of course. Lift your foot. No, didn't lift his foot in time. Jump up the hill. And there's some secret boost pads hidden underneath the platform somewhere. So, here I have a... got to jump up on top of the ogre. Ah, he slammed. Bopped him on the head, and that's the end of the map. So as you can see, that's the single player racing map. You've seen a multiplayer racing map. As I said, it would be nice if there were more players. It's partially just the time I'm active in. There's also a collection mechanic, so you've got different licenses you can collect. You can enter into a relationship, have a family. It's just weird. There's missions you can complete, which give you tokens, farm points, things like that. So the Ice and Princess race, play the Ice Princess race twice. No need to complete the map, single player or team modes. There's this, which is the emblems, and basically, like, this is to gift things to people. Own 4 female runners, defeat the ogre, defeat the bandits, defeat the giant card soldier, and those give you emblems that act as avatars. And then there's card collections, and there are a lot of cards to collect. There are a lot of cards to collect, so there's a massive card collection mechanic going on. So as well as racing, single player and multiplayer, co-op, guilds, bosses, there's also the Plaza, which is just a fun little place to run around with some sort of opportunities to meet people. You can unlock mounts that you can ride while you're in the Plaza, which is also part of the animal racing. These are the sort of ticket ball machines, which give you a chance of winning things. This one uses WH tokens, and there's all sorts of different tokens you can get. At the moment, I only have the mission emblems as tokens. I only have the mission emblems, which only allows me to access certain of the ball machines and get out little random rewards. There's the shop, and this is the shop person, but you can access the store at any time from the buttons at the bottom. And as I said, like, you can buy things with Astro, which is the paid for currency, or with TR, which is the standard currency. Some things you buy for a set number of days, other things you buy permanently. For instance, the Christmas hat's permanent. Things with any kind of bonus on them tend to be purchased for a set number of days. And also, there's the farm mechanic, where you have a farm. And on your farm you can build buildings and plant things and harvest crops. And it almost becomes Farmville-esque. So, if I harvest my pea crop, then I'm going to get a little bit of TR and a little bit of SP. And TR is the actual currency, the currency for buying things in the game. And SP is the leveling up for your farm. So I'm going to plant some more productivity structure, productivity farm. There we go. I'm going to plant some more pea crops. Yes, pop that there. So I'm just going to pop down some pea crops, and in 5 minutes time I can come back and harvest these. They give me level up for my farm. They give me a little bit of TR, which is the same amount of TR as they cost, and they give me a chance of getting a wooden chest. Oh, whoops. Peas everywhere. And would you like to save the placed items? Current farm set. Okay, so that's not sure what's happening there. But there I have some pea crops planted. It seems that it was like kind of half planting things and half not. You get people making some interesting requests for like marriage partners and things in the chat, which is just odd. But there's animal racing that you can do once you unlock the animal license. You can go into parties, you can go into alchemy, which allows you to enchant items and mix items together. So in my card collection I have the Dreamstone card, and it shows you where you can get this card from, and it can show you where you get that card from. So you can see it's got information everywhere. And you can combine things with cards to make them better. It's a very deep, complicated game. The racing's quite decent. I would love if there were some more people playing. It would be a lot more fun. If we could play some... heck, if we could play some like 30-man races. There's an actual like 30-man race option. And there are a couple of 30-man races. So you can see I have my pink sparkles because I had my pink sparkles. This person's asking people to ready up. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'll just run a quick bit of this race. I'll probably cut it before the end. As you can see, it's a fun little racing game. Daddy Octopus, which was locked in the dungeons of the castle. Henry has been brainwashed, forced into darkness. So it's a good little racing game. It's free to play. There is a paid for element of it, and yes, so you see this is like we're all racing against each other, but at the same time we're kind of allies. I'm at the back of the pack because well, I don't have the equipment to keep up with people, and I did not realise that was going to slow me down. And everyone got slowed down quite dramatically by those, so I'm now not at the back of the pack. So even you can see that even with the negatives of not having the best equipment, I'm not necessarily being outclassed immediately, because it is there. That person pushed me into the spikes and killed me. Thanks. Just thanks. Just pushed me into the spikes, pushed me into the chaos patch and killed me. Oh, I hate that person so much. But as you can see, that is that's the game. This is the guy in the lead at the moment. He's wearing some of the paid-for equipment. He's got a nice pet, so he's got an advantage. But as you can see, he knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's bouncing around and having a lot of fun. That's Rage Mode, which makes you faster and more powerful, and also makes you semi-invulnerable. So that is the mechanics of Tales Runner, where you run through the world of fairy tales to try and stop them being forgotten. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you again next time.